Hey, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the SATS Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is pumping. Let's go. What's up? I'm super stoked to see the price going up. But nothing changes. We still buy, okay? Every day, Monday through Friday, we're here buying a little Bitcoin at a time to show you that if a guy on the internet can do it, you can do it too. All right? So let's get into the beginning of the show, which we like to call, we check into the SAT strength. All right. So the SAT strength today we're at $44,000 Bitcoin. That means you can get 2,272 Satoshis for a single dollar. Less and less sats per dollar as we go. BTC Munga in the house. What up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Slow and steady. We're stacking sats. And I'm giddy, guys. Giddy. Part of me is a little sad because people that are new to stacking are going to miss the vote and not get as many cheap sats per dollar as we are. But another part of me is happy because I told as many people as I could tell. And if you didn't listen, you didn't listen, right? Maybe you didn't listen to me. Maybe you heard it from someone else, right? But hey, without being mean, I'm not gonna say I told you so, okay? I'm not gonna say I told you so. Okay, there's a poll up saying when 100K BTC. Do you think we'll hit 100K before the halving? Do you think we'll hit 100K in 2024? Or do you think we'll hit 100K after 2024? Let me know what you think in the chat. And in the poll. We'll talk about that a little bit later. All right. That said, let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you'll have not just good luck, but 22 Satoshis. Okay, pick that penny up, okay? Go turn it in for sats, and 22 Satoshis will be worth a lot more down the road. Okay? All right. There you go. It'll be like mining 22 blocks of Bitcoin in 2136. Huh? There you go. Last halving. You'll get the Coinbase reward. Just 22 sats. That's 22 blocks mined right there. That's 22 blocks of electricity not to spend. It's pretty wild. All right. So let's finish off the segment. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys. I'm just excited. Happy to be here. Happy to be stacking. And let's see. I've cleared out my my offer up. Everything on my offer up has sold. So I need to start listing more things on there. I told myself I have to have at least 5 listings going at once. And I have some more stuff I can sell, of course, right? And yeah, so I'll start working on that today and start listing more things because there's different ways to accumulate cash so you can buy more sats. And this is one of the ways I like to do it. It's just sell the things I don't need anymore. There's a lot of stuff there's still a lot of stuff I that I need to sell that I don't use. It's just taking up space, and it's pretty nice stuff, you know. Like, I think I'm gonna start moving into my camera lenses next. I have some camera lenses and old camera bodies like that I haven't used in a long time. I haven't been into photography for a while. I have a camera that I use for specifically photography. And I don't think I need all this extra gear. I have like filming stuff. I have like dollies, tripods. So anyway, all that stuff is gonna start getting listed too, because it's just sat sitting there, taking up space. All right, let's get into the main topic of the show today. Why we stack. All right, so today during the Why We Stack segment, we're going to talk about a cool, I guess, tweet or X post from Walker America. Let me just bring it up so we can talk about it. I'm going to read it to you guys, then we can talk about it for a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next thing I want to share with you guys. Let's see, screen. Bam, there we go. All right, he says the government can take the dollars in your bank account. They can take your home and land. They can take your stocks. They can take your gold. They can take everything. But the government cannot take your Bitcoin because they cannot confiscate the contents of your mind. Unless you get Neuralink, I guess, right? That's funny. That's funny. So it's significant. It's a great point, and it's something that we don't focus on so much in this show, but it's something that it's another virtue of Bitcoin, right? That you can store your financial energy in a Bitcoin address, and that Bitcoin address will be unconfiscatable, unreachable by any government or any other person unless you give up that seed phrase, right? So if you hold that seed phrase in your memory, you can go from one country to another and take your whole wealth with you, and nobody knows that you did that, right? Because once you get to wherever you're going, you can get your hardware device, restore your wallet, and have access to your money, right? And just like you can take that wealth across states and across the world into another galaxy, I guess, as long as they have internet connection and they can get to the Bitcoin network, you can take it with you, right? Not only across state lines, not only physically, geographically, you can also take it with you into the future, which is a whole nother concept, a whole nother way of looking at it, since it doesn't leak, right? You lose the same amount of Bitcoin taking your Bitcoin from one country to the other as you do taking your Bitcoin from one time to another. Dun dun dun, right? So you can take your Bitcoin, and the answer, and how much you lose is zero, right? You lose zero. You lose zero of your SATs if they're in cold storage, and you decide to not spend them for 100 years, right? And when you come back 100 years, if you're around that long, if you're fortunate enough, or whoever you inherited that to comes back in 100 years to look for their SATs, they're all going to be there, right? The Bitcoin network's going to have them there for you, secured by all the nodes, secured by the Bitcoin network itself. They will keep track of your SATs for you, and you won't ever lose them, right? Unless you lose that seed phrase or give up that seed phrase to somebody else, but that's different, right? So never in the history of humanity have we had that where we can just take some value, earn some value today, save it in a mechanism, Bitcoin, that is not going to corrode, and secure the prosperity of our descendants or even our future temporarily, right? Before we pass it on to our descendants, right? It's pretty wild. It's a really cool idea. It's a really cool concept. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So that said, let's talk about something else that I also noticed today. I saw this on, give me a second. Let me look him up real quick. I think it's Deontay is his name. He's doing shows for Swan now, for Swan Bitcoin on their YouTube channel. And he referenced some pretty cool charts. Let's bring up those charts because I think they're pretty good. And we should look at them and just kind of get an idea of what's going on, right? So when we look at Bitcoin, I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to end the poll here in a little bit when we get to the Q&A section, and we'll talk about that. Maybe your answer will change after watching this, after seeing what I'm going to show you next. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Boop. Okay, this is a chart showing profitable days. Okay, so for example, if you bought Bitcoin at any one of these times, right? In 2014, 2016, 2018, 2020, 2021, a little bit not there, and a little bit not there, right? So basically, this is the, I think this is the top of the, yeah, of the last bull run. So if you bought at the top and didn't DCA, this is just if you bought. We're not talking about DCA here. If you DCA the whole way down, you're already in profits. But if you just did one flat buy of Bitcoin at any given point during this timeline, wherever it's green, you are in profits. Basically, you're already in profits, right? The only people that are not in profits yet are the people that bought above like what 45, right? $44,000, because Bitcoin is right now at $44,000. Okay, so but if you bought at 67, however it went up to, if you bought at the very top at 67, you're definitely not in profits yet. But if you bought at the top at 67 and you kept buying, like on the regular, the same amount, you are definitely in profits now. But basically, this is showing you that pretty much it's like it's going up forever. So I have that thing going up forever on the title. It's just the key to financial freedom is Bitcoin, right? It is as simple as that. Over the long run, everything's staying the same. Bitcoin's gonna keep going up in price, right? Because the money printers keep rolling, and we don't need to get on. We don't need to get into all of that right now. But you guys understand where I'm coming from, okay? So, what other asset that you could have bought has performed this well, right? And I don't think you'll be hard pressed to find something that performs better than Bitcoin, right? So, it's like it's almost seems like it's an inevitability, right? Where it's just like, that's what I kind of have this back here, right? Where is it here? Right there. It's inevitable, right? It's just gonna keep going up because of the way things are, okay? And the way things are can't be changed overnight, right? To where we stop inflating the money. They have to inflate the money to stay solvent, right? I mean, they're not solvent, but they have to keep inflating the money or else their whole system collapses. And nobody wants to be the one holding the bag when the system collapses. So they're all going to keep printing, right? It's pretty crazy. So I thought that was a super cool chart, very informative in telling you to visualize how much Bitcoin is growing. And also, this is a really cool picture. Let me see if I can put it in this window over here so it makes it easier for us to see. Boom. Let's see if this works. Browser. Yeah, there we go. This is from @hodl15 capital. It's a X account, and they're basically putting out the numbers for these ETFs, like how much Bitcoin they've bought since they launched on the 11th. Yeah. And is that right? 11. Interesting. How much Bitcoin they've bought. And you see that they're buying a ton of Bitcoin. That's a lot. That's a lot of Bitcoin. 184,000 Bitcoin. MicroStrategies that's been accumulating Bitcoin for about 4 years. They have about 190 Bitcoin, and all these ETFs pretty much have combined have bought a ton. They're getting close to them. Like, let's see, so BlackRock now owns 57,000 Bitcoin. That's incredible. That's so much money. Fidelity, 62,787 Bitcoin, right? And that's not even counting what they bought today. Oh, that's not even counting what they bought yesterday or today, right? And so you see, you might be wondering to yourself, why is the price not going up then if all these companies are buying so much Bitcoin? Part of it is because, like, Grayscale is selling Bitcoin because people are getting out of it and going into other ETFs or just maybe getting out to buy regular Bitcoin, or maybe getting out to invest in something else. But a lot of that selling is it's kind of delaying, I think, the big rise in Bitcoin price, right? Because you basically have like a countering force, right? They're providing the Bitcoin for the people. They're providing the Bitcoin for all these other ETFs to buy off the market. So the market's not seeing that the market's not seeing that volume. The market's not seeing that money, right? But looking at this chart, you can see how much Bitcoin that Grayscale is selling, right? And it's selling a ton. And even though it doesn't, it might be, it looks like it's tapering, right? So when they started, this sold 617,000 Bitcoin, and it's going down. It's down, they're in the 400s now, still high 400s, but it looks like it's tapering down. So the amount of Bitcoin that they're selling is slowing down, right? And so they're probably going to get to a point where they don't need to sell as much Bitcoin because people are done selling off. But these ETFs are still, it doesn't look like they're slowing down, right? Like these numbers are actually going up. So these are the purchases, right? So they started with 2,000 Bitcoin, and then went to 33,000 Bitcoin, and then went to 49,000 Bitcoin, 52,000 Bitcoin, 56, and I'm rounding, guys. Like 63,000 Bitcoin, 66,000 Bitcoin, 70,000 Bitcoin, 72,000 Bitcoin, 75,000 Bitcoin. Does it look like BlackRock is slowing down or ramping up on the volume that they're buying, right? Well, on the flip side, does it look like Grayscale is selling more and more each time? No, they're selling less and less, right? So there's the supply that's been kind of keeping the price repressed, I think. And as these guys as Grayscale tapers off, and these guys keep gobbling up Bitcoin, they're going to have to reach a point where they can't buy it off exchange anymore, where they can't buy OTC over the counter. And when that happens, when that amount of volume starts hitting the exchanges, then you're kind of gonna have to see some real price action, right? That might be the beginning of what's happening today, right? Because today we had a pretty good move up to 44,000, and I'm really curious to see what the numbers are for today, as far as the amount of Bitcoin that Grayscale has sold, right? And again, guys, this is all conjecture, right? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on the internet that loves Bitcoin and the financial, life raft that it represents compared to the dollar. And so it's just things that I'm looking up and things that I like to share with you guys. And if you guys have a problem with anything I'm sharing with you guys, or a different idea, I'm open to hearing you out in the chat, and welcome that, because if I'm wrong, I would love to be challenged and figure it out, because I don't mind being wrong, right? It's a guy. How's that saying go? I forget if it's. I don't even know if it's a saying, but my philosophy is, it's okay to be wrong if you're willing to if you're open-minded enough to learn, right? So if you make a mistake, you learn from your mistake, and if you're wrong, you don't hang on to that error. You analyze it, and you move on, and you become a better person, and you grow, right? That's how you grow. Very cool. So with that stuff, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to go check out our stack in the stack recap. Ride or die, BTC Munga in the house. Let's go. What's up, Garrett? Mr. Android in the house. Also Leonard. Yeah, guys, I'm pretty much ride or die right now, for sure. It's happening, boys. It's happening. All right, our stack for the first time in 2024 has hit. Oh my, wow, 3% gains. Has hit 3+% gain. Just like that. Let's go, baby. Bitcoin to the moon. we are positive now. Okay, we've spent $1,160 to accumulate 2.7 million satoshis. If we try to buy the same satoshis today with the weaker dollars, it would cost us $1,197. Okay, it's pretty crazy. You need more of the weaker dollars to buy the same amount of satoshis. So let's look at our overall standings for the whole show since May 2023. Since we started the show, since we started stacking, 155 episodes in the past. Today's episode 156. We're up about 27%. Again, we're holding 13.5 million sats, and it costs us $4,684 to accumulate them. And if we were to buy those same amount of satoshis today, it would cost us $5,981. Okay, there it is. Simple numbers. Every single purchase in this spreadsheet, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, maybe like 4 or 5, have been done during an episode of the show. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, because we did a double listing on some of these. So we broke them out into $5 purchases. For example, where is it? Like up here. Yeah. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We did $20, but we broke it out into 4 $5 purchases. So that's why the numbers don't line up. But it's about 155 episodes worth of purchases. Everything tracked, everything done online, everything tracked on the spreadsheet for you guys to see that it is very doable. And if you're just starting out in 2024, you started stacking with us, then you should already be in profits, right? And it's just, don't think of it as, oh, hey, I'm in profits. When can I take my profit? No. Think about it as in, whoa, hold on a second. How could it be that this thing called Bitcoin goes up in value so much? What's happening here? What's the reality here? The reality, like we talk about all the time on the show, is that the dollar is weakening in purchasing power. So you need more of those weaker dollars to buy the same amount of satoshis. Okay, and once you understand that, then you don't need me to tell you not to sell. You'll reason that out on your own, because in the span of what, and it could change, right? Like in 2024, it could still change, but in 2023 May, right, we're up about 30%, 27%, right? And that should click for you. That should click for you right there. That if you're saving in Bitcoin, your life got 27% cheaper. Okay, think of it that way. When you save in Bitcoin, and again, we're not even like, we haven't even, this show is not even a year old. The show is not even a year old, and we're basically enjoying 27% off of the cost of our life, the cost of our lifestyle, because we're able to save in Bitcoin and not get devalued, right? So as other people are starting to feel the pain, as other people are starting to feel the pain of the higher prices and the salaries that are not going up to the real rate of inflation, we're still kind of losing, guys. Don't get me wrong. We're still kind of losing because we're not all getting 9% raises every year, right? So we're still kind of losing unless you're switching jobs all the time and trying to like get a higher income every year. We're falling behind on our salaries. We're falling behind on our pay. We're losing to inflation on that side, right? But then we're also losing to inflation on the other side when you spend money. So the prices of things, right? And when the prices of things go up, it's what you call a sticky thing, right? Because if you're a business and you need to raise your prices to make your margins in order for you to stay in business, when the prices of things go down, like for example, let's say your supplier goes down or whatever, for whatever reason, are you gonna lower your prices after you saw that your customers are willing to pay that higher price? No, Like most businesses won't. Most businesses will continue to charge you the higher price even if inflation is going down, right? Because it actually costs some money, right? I guess not anymore, not as up, but like if you have to reprint menus, it costs you money, right? And would you go reprint your menu to adjust the price for a lower price? Probably not, right? So, and I'm just talking like a little example, right? But even though they might be telling you that inflation is going down, or that we have it might not be real, right? Because again, if your customers are willing to pay a higher price, and they've already proven that they're willing to pay a higher price, and you're already kind of barely making your margins, right? Then when you do get a discount as a business, sometimes they won't pass it on to the customer just because it means that there'll be a little bit more margins in it for them, right? So that's why prices don't necessarily have to come down after they go up, which sucks, right? So inflation, just think of the price, inflation affecting prices as like a one-way thing, right? Don't expect the prices to come down. Like, yeah, the prices of gas come down, and it's more dynamic, or volatile, and like people expect that more, right? But like the cost of food, once the cost of food goes up, it's not gonna come down very easily, right? Again, for the same reasons we just talked about, and most stuff, the price won't come down on, right? So, anyway, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild to think about that stuff. Okay, so let's get back on task. We are above, the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price. So today, since we're buying at the local top once again on the show, we're gonna only buy a $20 stack. Okay, but don't let this discourage you in the grand scheme of things. If Bitcoin is theoretically going up forever, right, then buying at 43,000 or 44,000 doesn't really make a difference. It's just a matter of continuing to stack. We're already in the green, and let's keep the stack rolling and keep the green times going, I guess. All right. So now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do, and that is it's time to stack some SATS. Get that over here. That's so funny. All right. So today we're doing $20 worth of Bitcoin. And let's see. Oh, it is. Okay, let me do a preview, and then I'll switch it back to that screen so you guys can see the actual purchase. Preview. All right, I'm going to take a screenshot of this buy. Every time I buy a $20 stack, I feel like it's not enough. I feel like I'm going to come back next month and feel like I feel about our $25,000 purchases back in the day and be like, dang, we should have bought more, right? All right, here we go. Let me bring this up. All right, there it is. We're stacking over at Swan. We're stacking over at Swan Bitcoin. If you follow the link in the chat, you can get $10 worth of free Bitcoin when you sign up. It's my affiliate link. All right, so $20 worth of Bitcoin. Time to drop the hammer. Here we go. We're buying it just like that. 20 bucks at 44,100, I think. 44,230. Dang. Those keep the drum roll rolling. All right. Ooh, Sydney just came online. Let's see what they do to the price. All right, there it is. The Bitcoin has been bought. The Satoshis have been stacked. And now we feel accomplished. We can go on with the rest of our day knowing that we took a little bit of that value that we worked so hard for, and we've made it outside the grasp of the politicians, outside of the grasp of either side. I don't care who you vote for. And let's see here. Let's update the spreadsheet, boys. Have a good one, BTC Moon Guy. Thanks for tuning in. That yielded 44,766. It feels so sad. What a small stack. But those are the rules of the stack show. Okay. We gained 44,000 Satoshis to the stack. I'm going to add this to the cumulative show as well. Bam, 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 bam. $13.5 million sats. And for the year, we have 2.75 million Satoshis. And just like that, let's finish off this poll. 50% of people say before the halving, we'll get to 100K Bitcoin. In 2024, and some people, another 25% believe it in 2024 we'll get to 100K, and another person believes that it'll be after 2024 when we hit 100K. My vote is for, I'm thinking before the halving, guys. Okay, I know it sounds super crazy, but I'm okay being wrong. I'm thinking before the halving, and the halving is gonna happen in how long? Let's see. It's gotta be an easy one to find. Days until Bitcoin halving. What up, J-Dub? J-Dub, the question to the poll was, when 100K Bitcoin? Before the halving, within 2024, or after 2024? What is your answer? Put it in the chat. That's pretty cool. All right, this is a cool little timer, guys. Let me show this real quick. Boom. 70 days away from the halving. Okay. Before the halving, let's go. Me too. I think before the halving too, J-Dub. Before the halving, look at that. So crazy. 70 days. 16 hours, 51 minutes, and 54 seconds. Yep. We're going to add this to the list of, we're going to add this to our show intro. 70 days until the halving. Okay. And with the pump today, they will run out of Bitcoin to sell. Exactly. We covered that, J-Dub. We're talking about the inflows and outflows of Bitcoin with all these ETFs. And that was what we showed, was just the ETFs. You know, we weren't even talking about the just the everyday people buying, right? We weren't even talking about other companies buying, right? This is just ETFs. Those were just ETF inflows and outflows that we were talking about, right? Once Grayscale is done selling whatever they're gonna sell, and that amount of demand, or once the over-the-counter markets are tapped out, then they're coming for your Bitcoin, right? And they're gonna pump the price so hard that you might be questioning yourself and be like, hey, you know, I could do with a little extra $100,000 in my pocket, and don't get tempted, right? They're gonna tempt you, okay? I forget what they call it. It's the oh my gosh, what is it called? It's a hodl, maybe a hodl profit window? I don't know. The point is, can you survive it? Can you survive seeing your value jump 10x, 100x, whatever, right? When Bitcoin hits $100,000, right? will you sell? What about when Bitcoin hits $1 million? It'd be nice to have $1 million, right? And you might be tempted to say, well, you know what? I'm good. I made my play. I'll take my $1 million. Okay? But remember, if you take that $1 million, right? What's the stat? In 100 years, that money is still going to continue to depreciate. You're still buying broken money. So you're still better off to stay in Bitcoin, even if you get to $1 million Bitcoin, right? Now my mom's Bitcoin, so she'd be happy to slap me back. Wait, you wouldn't sell it because your mom's a Bitcoiner and she'd be happy to slap you. That's hilarious. That's awesome, dude. That's so good. That's so good. I love it. I love it. No, but yeah, so you should think about, have your plan and decide today or in the near future, in the next couple of days, at what price you would sell, or decide not to sell, which is what I would recommend, not to sell. Because if Bitcoin hits $1 million, or if Bitcoin hits $100,000, it doesn't change anything as far as the conditions that made it possible for Bitcoin to hit $100,000 or $1 million. The thesis is not only proven when Bitcoin hits those numbers, but it also remains the same. So there is no limit to where it can go, right? The fact that it is limited supply makes it unlimited potential, which is a crazy concept, but we'll leave it at that. Okay? So, with that said, let's turn on the tune out music. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the SATS Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin, and you should be saving in Bitcoin. Go read Inventing Bitcoin. Download it. It's free. Maybe you could listen to the audio. Go read or listen to the Bitcoin Standard if you're new to this whole game. And then you'll understand that the dollar is broken. Inflation is theft. The government is stealing your wealth via inflation by using their money. And you need to save in Bitcoin. Because if you're not saving in Bitcoin, that means you're slacking. And if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys.